through the neck of the woods. They've had to deal with more barges than they usually would,
Craig.
or at least closer together. And canoeing next to a barge is not for the faint of heart. They kick off some really big waves, and it can be quite dangerous. The team is currently expecting to complete their journey by Friday night. Foster said members have to beat a time of 18 days, 4 hours, 51 minutes to take the new Guinness Book of World Records. Wow. Your thoughts, Mr. Hans?
Well, I remember when I was a kid, the last couple things you said there got to me. Barge traffic, very dangerous. People don't understand how dangerous it is. But I was like, I don't know, 12, 13 years old. Mm-hmm. I was fishing down on the Mississippi River, south of La Crosse, and there was a lock and dam there. And we were sitting there, and there's two guys, two Hmong guys. I don't know if you know what Hmong are, but they're like from the Laos, Vietnam region, and the Laos area. And they were sitting there fishing, and a barge came through, and I watched them. The boat tipped, they went under, and just never came back up. I mean, I literally witnessed it with my own eyes, and I was like, that's weird. How can they not just pop back up? Well, there's so much undercurrent from those barges that, I mean, it just sucks you down, and then it can grab you, and it can just kind of keep spinning you, keep pushing you down with the waves. And unfortunately, those two guys lost their lives.
Right.
So, I mean, what they're doing is actually kind of dangerous. You know, you start up there in Minnesota and start canoeing down, it's tiny up there.
Right.
And, clean. And then you get down to just, I would say, Missouri.
Right.
Because in Missouri, they have found sharks all the way up in the Mississippi, all as far up as Missouri.
Yeah.
Okay. Dangerous sharks.
Dangerous.
Danger, yeah.
Danger.
You go past that, and then you start getting into not only sharks, but you're talking about invasive species of all kinds.
It's called a bull shark, right?
Yep, bull shark.
Yeah.
Yep.
Matter of fact, we found those like 10 years ago in the Ohio River. They started swimming up that way from the Mississippi.
Yeah, they can go saltwater or freshwater.
Yeah, weird. People were talking about swimming out in the Ohio, and then all of a sudden they felt like this big old car come up underneath of them is what it felt like.
Right, yeah.
And it ended up being a bull shark. They're huge.
Jaws was actually written
based on a bull shark.
Based on a bull shark.
I heard
came
that.
up a freshwater river.
Yeah.
And then you have poisonous snakes. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I guess, kudos to them.
Right.
I like boating and all that stuff, but canoeing that far.
That's an awful long way.
That's an awful long way. And plus, you got to go through all the locks and dams, deal with poisonous snakes, nurse sharks,
Right.
Yeah, it kind of feels like Huckleberry Finn a little bit.
Yeah, it does.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't know. It's cool, though.
Yeah.
I just don't know if I'd do it.
Right.
Check this out. I want to know what you think. At&t Discovery agreed to merger with CNN and other media assets.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so AT&T, they're very confusing. They're very angering to deal with.
Yeah.
And Discovery, what do you think of that?
Pretty wild.
AT&T has agreed to merge its Warner Media division with Discovery Communications Incorporated, creating a streaming giant to compete with Walt Disney Company's Disney Plus and Netflix.
That's what it's all about. It's a power grab.
Right. The combined company will own channels including CNN, HBO, TNT, TBS, Animal Planet, Food Network, and Warner Brothers. Well, their stock down 2.42% and 2.13%. What do you think of that?
Right. Yeah.
$43 billion.
Wow.
That's what AT&T is going to get. $43 billion. I wonder how many lives this controls.
Right.
And it is. This is literally about a power grab. And I would say it has more to do with CNN losing bigly. Hello, Dwayne.
No.
I don't like to see huge mergers like this.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it ever ends up good for the regular American people.
No.
So you merge a few here and you merge a few there, and they're playing the long game. So 3, 4, 5 years down the road, pretty soon you don't have any competitors because they've wiped them all out. They put the power all together, smashed everybody else.
Oh, I get where you're going with this. Sort of like what COVID did to small businesses.
Well, kind of like that, yeah.
Yeah,
But then what they do is after they've eliminated that, then they jack the prices up.
Yeah.
And you're like, how many different cable news networks are there now?
Oh, tons.
Really?
Yeah, there is.
Okay, tell me. So what are they?
You've got
Comcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you've got ABC, NBC, CBS.
No. Those are networks.
Right. Okay.
I'm talking about just, cable.
Cable
If you
outlet.
move somewhere,
MSNBC, CNBC.
No. You're thinking wrong. I'm talking about
Right.
the cable companies that put all them together.
Oh.
You got Charter,
Okay. I know where you're-
Comcast,
Cox Communications.
Cox Communications. Literally, there's like 10 of them for the whole U.S.
Yeah.
So you move into a new town. Do you ever have more than 2 choices?
That's about it.
That's
Every
it. You
town.
have 2 choices.
Yeah.
And isn't it funny how there's not supposed to be price fixing, but they're almost
Gouging.
identical all the time? And then to make it look different, they run specials like, we're not raking coals over your back.
Oh,
you
we're
know?
not talking about satellite companies, are we? Because that's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little bit angering,
It is.
And CNN, they kind of did what they did to themselves.
Yeah.
All the major networks have done what they've done to themselves. There's a reason that there is a downslide.
Yep.
Did you know that there's not one network, including Fox, that isn't losing ground?
I know. Because nobody cares about listening to the news anymore because it's all propaganda, it seems like, and it's fake.
Well, that, and I think that Americans have decided, you know what, I've got better things to do
Yeah.
with my time.
And that's why nobody really wants to watch it. That's why I don't want to watch it, because I know most of what they spit out of their mouth is fake.
Well, and I do believe that that's the power of the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. It used to be that, I missed the news.
Right.
It was 6 o'clock. I missed the 6 o'clock news. Man, now I'm not going to be able to hear the news till tomorrow.
Right.
Well, guess what? Now it doesn't matter if you miss the news because you can go get it on whatever streaming platform that you like.
Right.
You can go listen to the podcast that you want. And when you're done, you just shut it off.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And go about your business. That's the power.
The power grab. Yep.
Skullcram says fake news is not interesting anymore. Amen to that.
I
because
agree.
that is the truth.
Yeah, that's 1,000%.
So this is a survival move. And
Pretty much it is, because they're barely keeping their head above water.
Right. The end game is literally going to be them jacking up the prices on the American people.
Oh, I agree.
We're going to watch it. It's going to happen.
I agree.
So do you got a good story? It's not a long story, is it?
No.
What is it?
I renamed this one Arse Munch.
Oh, wait. Ooh. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if it's a munch, there you go. brother.
The body's most embarrassing organ is an evolutionary marvel. And yet we have very little idea where anuses come from.
Ooh. Wait. Say that again. Where what come from?
And yet we have very little idea where anuses come from.
Okay. That's what I thought you said, but I had to check again.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Oh, well, now I know what you mean by munch. Go for it.
To peer into the soul of a sea cucumber, don't look into its face. It doesn't have one. Gently turn that blobby body around and gaze deep into its marvelous, multifunctional anus.
Wow.
The sea cucumber's posterior is so much more than an exit hole, which I just exited.
Exit. What, did you exit the story?
I got it now. Exit hole for digestive waste. It is also a makeshift mouth that gobbles up bits of algae, a fox lung, latticed with tubes that exchange gas with the surrounding water, and a weapon.
Did you say lattice or lettuce?
Lattice.
Oh, you were talking about lettuce and
no
anuses.
tomatoes.
I thought you were going toss salad.
No, yes, that's with the surrounding water, and a weapon that, in the presence of danger, can launch a sticky, stringy web of internal organs to entangle predators. Danger, yes. And it can even, on occasion, be a home for shimmering pearlfish, which wiggle inside the bum. Now we're talking bum.
Are we talking worms and bums? That's just gross.
When it bellows open
Squiggly
to
wiggly.
breathe, It would not be inaccurate to describe a sea cucumber as an extraordinary anus. How can you call an anus extraordinary?
I don't. I find it funny though because you're like a little kid. Every time you say anus, you get like this funny smile on your face.
The words they put in front of anus, you know?
Yeah, squiggly wiggly.
Extraordinary?
Yeah. I've never seen an extraordinary anus before.
Me either. That's why I was laughing.
Yeah.
But that just so happens to have a body around it, as Rebecca Helm, a jellyfish biologist at the University of North Carolina at Asheville, told me it is just really a great bud. Your thoughts, Mr. Ham?
Well, if you're talking about this, this way. I saw a story of a woman that wanted to spice her marriage up, keep it going. She was like 40-something, and she wanted to make a sexy picture for her husband.
Right.
And so she did this weird thing where she, had this thing draped over her and, in a weird position, and then they took it off and hung it up and, framed it and whatnot.
Right.
And she was mortified because it showed her chocolate starfish. And, I was just, kind of the same thing. You're talking about an animal, but there's just something about buttholes. They all stink and everybody's got one. So they're not really extraordinary. What was that word you used? What did they say? Impeccable?
Gosh. I'm trying to remember. There's so many words that they put in front. That's actually what made me laugh. I mean, a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, well, what makes me laugh is literally in this show a lot is just you and your reaction to words, because it's like a kindergartner, and they're like, you say,
well,
anus or penis, and you're like,
yeah, right.
Hey, okay,
this show went to hell. I mean,
listen to this. A moment. Navy officers watch UFOs drop into Pacific Ocean in worrying security threat. Former Navy Lieutenant Ryan Graves said his crew saw the objects enter protected airspace, get this, hundreds of times between 2015 and 2017. His comments come as the U.S. government is in June expected to release a report on the sightings. A leaked video shows U.S. Navy officers watch a UFO splashing into the Pacific Ocean in what a former lieutenant has described as potential security threat. Ooh. The close encounter happened off the coast of San Diego in July of 2019 when the OSS Omaha came face-to-face with a spherical object as it slowly descended from the sky. It was filmed by crew members on the combat ship, and the footage has now been shared by investigative filmmaker Jeremy Corbell with the media outlet Mystery Wire. What do you think about that? Kind of makes your anus pucker, don't it? Okay, so we literally have high-ranking former military members talking about their experience. This isn't the first time we've heard about UFOs or extraterrestrials or whatever going into the ocean. I mean, I've heard stories from...
Audrey's got a lot of stories.
Well, yeah, is it the Blues? Is it the Grays? We'll never know. But
she would let us know.
Captains, admirals, I mean, people like that are talking about them going in the middle of the ocean where nothing should be, and they look down and there's lights all over underneath the...
Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Doesn't surprise me. Really doesn't.
Well,
because I've seen one. That's why I guess it doesn't surprise me.
It's a quicker, picker, pucker upper,
That's true.
I'm telling you this. They're slowly allowing this information to come out to the American. There's something going on. Now, whether it is top secret, military capabilities that we don't know we have,
right,
or, other things, which I tend to believe it's other things.
I do too.
With the knowledge comprehension that we have in this country, the intelligence level that is dropping, I don't think that we have, in its totality, over a broad spectrum, enough smart people to be able to deal with something like that.
Right.
Think about it.
Yeah. Smart people that make smartphones. Now we can get a smart alien phone.
Well, I would say that I believe that Americans are the most intelligent people on the planet.
Yes.
But look what even we do to ourselves. I mean, we're fighting over the dumbest things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for us,
climate change.
Well, climate change